Yo, what's up, guys? It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I don't know what we got. Happy Tuesday or Handsome Tuesday. I don't know what Wednesday is. We got to come up with some days. Let me know what I should call the days, okay? So I know you guys love Ivanka Trump, so we're going to start off with her talking about jiu-jitsu.
I most recently got into jiu-jitsu, courtesy of my daughter, Arabella, who I'm just so in awe of because she's now 13, but at 11, she came to me and said, you know, as a woman, I feel like I need to know how to defend myself. And I don't have a confidence level yet that I can do that. Can you sign me up for a self-defense class? And my jaw just hit the ground because at 11, I don't know what I was doing. I was like thinking about boys or something. But I was not thinking about being able to physically defend myself. And so I thought it was the coolest thing. So I called a few friends and I asked for recommendations. And I got a recommendation for these brothers in Miami, the Valente brothers, who are amazing. Mm-hmm. And I started driving her to these classes. She started asking me to join. I joined. Then my two sons wanted to do what their older sister was doing. Then my husband joined.
It's supposed to be really good for kids, right?
It is good for everyone. And it's like multiple things I like. So it meshes physical movement. It's almost like a moving meditation because the movements are so micro. It's like three-dimensional chess, everything. And now it's funny, like I'll watch Ultimate Fighting, and you see some of these moves are so subtle, and they'll like break out of a hole. It's like fun to watch it now. Having
Ultimate Fighting,
just sort of
you can start going to the
I'm
matches.
like a blue belt, so I'm not really knowing what's going on. But I'm just
belt.
I don't want Lauren to learn because she could fold me into a pretzel, and I
like her asking what's the first belt.
That's the last thing I need.
I have a feeling, Lauren, you could already do that.
I could do a lot of things. I've got a lot of things.
And you may not always not want her to do that.
Yeah, that's true. I am careful
you may be folded into a pretzel tonight.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Hey, calm down.
I'm good right now. I'm actually good.
It's fun. You guys would love it. And it like satisfies both. There's like a real spiritualism to it. Like it's
that's special Valente Brothers Jiu-Jitsu.
Grounding in sort of samurai tradition and culture and wisdom. I love philosophy. I would say one of the core parts of my life. And we were talking before about like knowledge acquisition. I've always loved reading philosophy. I use it as sort of a guide for life generally. And I find jiu-jitsu combines physical movement and philosophy in an amazing way. So
you're selling me on it.
Yes.
It's funny
I love it.
I boxed when I was younger, and I don't regret it because you learn a lot, but I don't think it was the best. Like I had a problem.
I don't know. She doing some special jiu-jitsu with the Valente Bros, more spiritual than what we do. So moving on, we got Roberto Jimenez. He calls out IBJJF and says, athletes deserve to be paid. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should athletes get paid or should they just compete for free for the love of the sport? I mean, even wrestlers get paid nowadays with the NIL. Judokas, do you guys get paid? I think they had their federation or something. I don't know. Roberto Jimenez has never been shy about speaking his mind, and now the elite grappler is taking aim at one of the sport's most hotly debated issues, athlete pay. We're going to read the post right here. Here it goes. It says, professional jiu-jitsu athletes should get paid. Europeans, Pans, Brasileiros, World, Ski, and No-Gi. We need to get paid for our effort. We are not monkeys in a zoo. We are athletes. We are fighters. We are warriors. We deserve more. There are world champions that have to work Uber. It's true. We need compensation for making the show happen. Yeah. Let me pull up some numbers. Europeans, I don't think they pay. Pans, they don't pay. Brasileiro, they actually pay for Brasileiro. They actually do pay for Brasileiro. Worlds, they do pay for first, second, third. No-Gi Worlds, I don't know if they pay. So they are paying. Well, they just started paying. I think 2019 is when they started paying. They did like these pro tournaments, which they would pay like $4,000 to win, and then they did the Grand Prix. Now they're doing the Crown, which they pay a little bit more, but it's only a small number of athletes. And I will say that money adds up because if they pay first, second, third, eventually it's like they split $250,000 and everybody just kind of gets some chump change, really. And maybe the athletes should be getting a lot more. I don't know, because they're a private organization, private company. We don't know their numbers. We don't know how much they make from Pans or Worlds or Jiu-Jitsu Con. I'm sure they make a ton of money from Jiu-Jitsu Con, but we don't know the actual numbers. So there is no revenue sharing. If you're lucky, well, I mean, heck, it's more than luck to win these tournaments, right? It takes a lot of effort. And then I don't think most of these guys break even when you consider the travel, the tournament cost, and all the other stuff, the supplements and food and injuries. Like, it doesn't really add up. So there should be more money in the sport. And, you're going to see more athletes going towards CJI and whatever else that comes up, PFL and Zapatero. You can win $100,000 in this tournament or do this other tournament and you just get a medal. So I think IBJJF has got to start stepping their game up, and if they say, oh, we don't have the money, what you need to do? You need to find sponsors like every other sport. Can you guys find some sponsors? Can you find some sponsors here in America that are willing to pay big money for, having that reach in the jiu-jitsu community? I think you guys can. I want to see some of the comments. Can we see some of the comments? Sometimes I can read the comments. Other times I'm like, the comments are crazy. The comments are crazy. Let's see. Somebody going to be, Brasileiros has money, prizes. Why not here at majors? I don't know. I don't know. Couldn't agree more. The athletes are, this is Adele Fornerino. The athletes are the only way to drive this change. 100% perfect. So I'm seeing a lot of famous people in this post. A lot of famous world champions. Don't. The only way to make that happen is if all the best athletes sit out and people make a stand. They're probably not going to do it. We not connected like that. They make $2 million in just memberships before anyone signs up for an event. Well, that money, I'm sure it does take $2 million or some large amount of money to run their databases and their systems and whatever software updates. Software looks old as whatever, but they still need money to keep their servers running and keeping the whole show going. It takes money to get the events, to have the mats, to fly people in. IBJJF earns $15 million to $50 million per year. Oh, is that true? That sounds like a lot, but that's still not that much in the grand scheme of things. There's girls on OnlyFans that make that money in the month. Well, in a year. That's not that much money in the grand scheme of things. And think about how many people work for IBJJF. That's not that much. Just getting the venues can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Paying all the people's probably hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. I'm saying paying for the referees, the table staff, security, all that stuff adds up, bro. This guy's throwing some estimates out there. I don't know if that's accurate. Says IBJJF continues to put profit over athletes, neglecting safety, fair pay, and proper medical support. Yeah, I couldn't find any medical staff at the last tournament, bro. I was like running around at Pans. I was like, where are the medical people? Because usually they have like a little tent or something or, area. I couldn't find anybody. And then we went to one dude. He's like, here's a Band-Aid. Let's see. It's only sustainable or even fair for athletes to invest their own money, cover all their expenses, give away their image for free, and still pay a private company that profits by selling their image through pay-per-view. Could it be time to reflect on whether this model truly values the athletes' contributions? It is possible that a private company not recognized as an international federation. I don't think IBJJF is technically it's a private company. That's true. Do not support and protect their athletes, and when an athlete's efforts is acknowledged with just a social media post, and yet they end up competing in an empty gymnasium because the federation didn't even promote the event, can they really reflect the values of their dedication and sacrifice? Yeah, I was thinking about Pans. I was like, man, Pans was really amazing. But I think, the same time they had NCAAs, I had some numbers here. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, I had a post from NCAA's. Let's see if you guys can see it. I'll try to pull it up on the camera here. Can you guys see that? So that was like the number of people in attendance for NCAA's. It was 18,000 people in the stands, and I believe the viewership was like over 700,000. Probably more than that. So that's wrestling, and they just enacted the NIL, and they're getting people from Japan. They're getting people just not growing up. They got people 25, 26 out there wrestling. Like, bro, get out of here. People that graduated high school in 2018, 2019. Like, bro, wasn't that like 6 or 7 years ago? What are you doing over here? So pretty interesting. I'm for athletes getting paid. I want to get paid. If you're out there competing, you should get paid. So was that the same thing? Oh, so we got Reddit. Reddit, of course, everything lands on Reddit. He pretty much asking the same thing. He says, I knew two Olympic athletes that worked regular jobs. If you aren't in a flagship sport, you aren't getting paid. It's love of the game or nothing. Well, that's changing. That was the case a couple years ago, but I mean, bro, like say wrestling or judo, you got to go all in, You can't be working a job and training hard to win the Olympics. Like, it's not going to happen, bro. Because they're not people in Russia, Iran, wherever, they just wrestling the whole time. They wrestling all day, And if you work in a job, bro, you're not going to win. Some guy says, didn't Rhonda live out of a van during her Olympic days? It's rough out there. Well, that's why she went to MMA. I assure you, a lot of people wouldn't go to MMA if their sport paid them more. Her and Travis Stevens have been pretty open about how much or how underfunded USA Judo is. Well, USA Judo is not run well. It is not run well. Somebody, if you do judo and you don't believe me, come attack me in the comments. But it didn't seem to be run well. I remember Travis Stevens was doing jiu-jitsu, and making money in jiu-jitsu. Then they were like, oh, you can't do that anymore. So he had to stop doing jiu-jitsu tournaments and competitions. And judo in America is just not that popular, I think it's optics. I always give a shout out to Colton Brown because his school, I feel like, is more inviting to grapplers from other disciplines. But a lot of judo academies aren't very open to having. It's just the scheduling is not very open. They have like 3 classes a week. It's in some gymnasium somewhere in a YMCA. It's like a club basically. It's not like an actual studio or dojo. This is the large bulk of Olympic athletes. Most Olympic sports are amateur sports. It wasn't that long ago when they all were. Well, that's true. Some of these, look at wrestling. They were saying, oh, well, wrestling is an amateur sport, but they were bringing in millions of dollars. Oh man, we're bringing in millions. The colleges were bringing in millions of dollars. They are bringing in millions of dollars, and then now they're just now paying the athletes. But if you just let that amateur status kind of sit that title stand, it's like, all right, well, we don't have to pay them. They're amateur, but I mean, they're the best in the country. They need to be getting paid. Absolutely. And BJJ is in the same bucket. It's an amateur sport. Well, you say that, but are the athletes amateur when you look at them? No, they're professional. Professional technique, professional strength, professional conditioning. Man, get out of here, man. You can say jiu-jitsu is an amateur sport, but I mean, bro, the people are good. They're not amateurs. They're professionals. The absolute apex of the sport gets some level of support, largely from sponsors, and everyone else gets to pay to play. Well, it's changing. You saying that it's amateur doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right at all. Let's see. I'm getting upset just thinking about this. I'm getting upset. Let's move on. Let's see. It says Flow Grappling asked Nicky Rod if he regrets not competing at ADCC after winning $1 million. Who would ask that kind of question? Who would ask, sir, are you happy with this $1 million? Get out of here. Get out of here asking that question. Oh, man. Let's see. So he's got Who's Number One? Oh, that's coming up in April. Is that Who's Number One? Yeah. He says no because we got so many more views. You saw the YouTube got like 4 million views between 2 days. So that was absolutely incredible. I got to be honest. The moment I finished my finals, I was looking at my phone. I was about to text Mo like, hey, you should let me do the absolutes tomorrow. But I was like, how tough would that be to go 3 days in a row? This is absolutely one of the most anticipated grappling matches probably in history. Well, they always say that. The only other... they did fight before. I think he was still pretty new when he fought. Oh, let's see if we can play the video.
All right, so
we're just gonna go straight to YouTube. Here we go. Had the video already lined up for you guys. Flow Grappling, what's up?
Tell us what all you did in training today and how it went.
Yeah, today's training was fun for me. We did some positional sparring, emphasis on getting better in the offensive and defensive leg entanglements, and yeah, that's about it. Pretty simple.
So Dima's in town now. You know, he's kind of running the camp and stuff. What difference does Dima make whenever he's here at B Team?
Yeah, Dima has a great impact, as well as all the guys that he brings along with him. You know, guys like Owen Jones, Joseph Chen, his purple belt Linus that's on there. It might be a brown belt nowadays, but you know, anytime Dima comes, he brings an influx of.
We're gonna skip a little bit, guys.
Nice. So I want to ask you some specifics now about your match coming up on WNO 27, April 18th against Kynan. Overall, you know, how are you feeling about this match with Kynan?
That's right. Nicky Rod versus Kynan Duarte, April 18th, right? April 18th, on a Friday, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. You know, this guy's uber talented. Just submitted everyone in his double gold ADCC World Championship run. So you know, uber talented, uber successful, and you know, it'll be a rematch for us. You know, and I'm looking forward to kind of seeing my progress throughout the years.
Yeah. Do you remember much from your first?
We're skipping, guys. We're skipping.
Years since we've seen you both compete.
I was just very green. I mean, at the time, I knew like a.
We're skipping, guys. We're skipping.
Winning CJI, becoming the world's first jiu-jitsu athlete to win $1 million in competition, was a phenomenal step in my career. It was a goal.
What was the taxes on that, guys?
Tournament play, because you have such a build-up and then kind of an explosion of success once you accomplish your goals. I like super fights, super matches as well, but tournaments is something about tournaments that is, yeah, you almost have to like control. You have to control your emotions a lot, and I like that aspect because a lot of times guys like win a match round one and then they're like celebrating, but it's like you're not done yet, you know?
Yes, go check them out, guys. Who's Number One? April something. April 27th. What day is that? Who's Number One? Let me check. Yo, they had it here somewhere. I'm gonna make sure I give you guys the right date. 18th, April 18th. So pretty soon. Already back on Reddit. It says first BJJ class humbled me. I, 36 female, just competed in my first BJJ class on the hottest day of the week with a bunch of dudes and no air conditioning. Dang, she was torturing herself. And let me say, I was humbled. But then on my way home, it just made me smile because despite having to take a fair few breaks, everyone was so helpful and welcoming. I think I'll be back for sure. That's awesome, man. I love these stories. Yeah, that's how they're training. Boston Crab. Yeah, you know, you start training jiu-jitsu, you're gonna get humbled. You realize, man, you're not in that good of shape. You're not that strong, and you don't know anything. So yeah, if you're thinking about training jiu-jitsu, go ahead and give it a try. Do that beginner's class, okay? Do that beginner's class. Now we got 3-time NCAA champion Jason Nolf. He says no one in college is taking performance enhancers. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you think that's true. He says, I've been wrestling for 22 years now. It's been a really big part of my life, Nolf said. I just want to officially announce that I'm retiring. I'm done. Oh, that's a while back. So he's in Austin. Well, he said no one in college wrestling is taking steroids. Oop, I meant to take performance enhancers. Okay, so they got some stuff over here, right here. It says, Nolf's assertion raises eyebrows. Wrestling is one of the most physically demanding sports in the world, requiring extreme strength, cardio, and recovery. While USADA does conduct testing in Olympic-level wrestling, collegiate wrestling is governed by the NCAA. So it's limited in scope compared to pro sports or Olympic programs. Alrighty, so that means they can get around those testings. So despite the limited testing, some athletes have been caught using banned substances. A few notable doping cases in the past 2 decades include Travis Rutt, 2011, former Wisconsin wrestler tested positive for a banned stimulant. Darren Caldwell. He got caught with something? Early 2000s. While not officially suspended by NCAA, Caldwell was spoken about PD culture and the pressure of performance. Various Olympic hopefuls, they didn't even name. Aaron Brooks, he got hit with that. He didn't have no prescription for that Adderall. And are you saying Adderall's not a performance enhancer, Jason Nolf? Adderall's not helping these guys wrestle? It gives you extreme focus. Come on. That ain't helping you? Come on, man. Yeah. So we got some more stuff, yeah. So actually, let's go into forums. We're on MMA Junkie. It says, college wrestling, do they test? Yeah, well, they just said the NCAA does. Not sure about NAIA or JUCO, but I'm pretty sure NCAA does at some level. If they do test, it's not very often. Believe it or not, the testing costs a lot of money. So if you're not at a big-time school or you're not a scholarship student, athletes there's a very good chance you're not getting tested. Proper WADA testing is expensive and time-consuming. Why are these tests so expensive? I guess because they got to find, the athletes are trying their best to get past these tests, And so the testing agencies have to spend so much money on developing new tests and finding such small amounts of whatever's in there, small amounts of differences that I think it just it just comes out to a lot of money. But listen, man, they're going to catch you, man. Eventually. As long as they have those testing the samples, they can always find it later. They do test, but it's 1 or 2 times a year thing. They do test at championships. When is drug testing conducted? Drug tests can occur at any phase of an NCAA championship: first round, second round, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. It can occur more than once at a championship. Participating institutions and student athletes are not giving any advance notice that drug testing is being conducted at the championship. People are using this stuff because it works, it works. So I'm hoping the testing gets better. So we're going to our wrestling. It says prevalence of performance enhancers at D1. We got a former D1 wrestler who says NCAA tests pretty frequently and randomly. Out of the 5 years I wrestled in a D1 program, I didn't know anybody who used performance enhancers. Out of the 5 years, I was tested about 3 times. Wow, that's not that much. Some guys were tested more, some guys were tested less. I doubt many were using PEDs or SARMs, just my personal opinion. Yeah, so apparently they're saying they were tested a lot. I would think other performance boosters like EPO for cardio are more common. I believe Dayton Fix did test positive for testosterone, but they brushed it over. Oh, or SARMs. Hey, Dayton Fix, he's like a international wrestler, or was. So there you go. There was Dayton Fix and some other guys. Yeah, there's so many workarounds for these guys, So we're not sure. I'm sure somebody's using something. Now, is it testable or detectable? I don't know. So talking about money in jiu-jitsu, we got big sponsors are entering jiu-jitsu, and the sport may never be the same. So you got Dana White over here holding some cash. You got Mikey next to Craig Jones. Hope they don't kiss. It sounds like a joke, but it's not a joke. It's real. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has long thrived on passion, dedication, and community, but after years of grassroots growth, the sport may be entering a brand new era, one powered by money, media, and mainstream exposure. With major names like Dana White and UFC showing serious interest in Jiu-Jitsu, the impact could be massive both now and in the future. They have plans to invest $10 to $12 million in 2025. That's this year. Again, I don't know why they're doing this, but I guess, they're trying to get an investment back, It says, rather than being solely about prize pools, most of the investment is expected to target infrastructure, high-level media production, and event promotion, storytelling, marketing strategies designed to take jiu-jitsu from niche sport to global marketing or global entertainment. Well, it's kind of gotten to that point. Will this help schools or will this actually hinder it? Because I think once they start marketing to the broader global, you're going to get more students that probably don't fit the mold of past student populations. You're going to get some softer people, man. You're going to get some people that don't want to train, that are just more fanboys or fangirls. You're going to get people that aren't going to push hard. They're not going to compete. You're going to get the pickleball crew. You're getting the pickleball crew. That's going to be your students now, guys. Pickleball crew. I can't roll. My finger hurts. That's what's going to happen, man. Possibly a deeper collaboration between UFC and high-level jiu-jitsu tournaments like the Craig Jones Invitational. With UFC resources behind it, a CGI event could evolve into a fully polished, media-rich spectacle. It's kind of already that. It's already a media-rich spectacle. You don't need all this money, guys. You don't need all this money to make it media-rich. Just because of social media, you can blow things up. That's what, even Nicky Rod talked about, CJI, the first one, had 4 million views in 2 days on YouTube. If you let it grow organically, it could have 40 million views without the UFC resources behind it. I mean, obviously having UFC resources helps, but I'm not sure overall. Think of the kind of spotlight the Ultimate Fighter gave MMA nearly 20 years ago. Well, they weren't able to really follow that up after the first one, or first couple, right? What makes this transition so natural is that the sport already has teams, legendary affiliations like Checkmat, Autos, Gracie Baja, B Team, New Wave, Team Planet, Pedigo. Those ain't even most of the main teams. Let's see. There's also clear opportunity for apparel and equipment brands to step in the spotlight. Companies like Level Black, Show Your Roll, Hyperfly could become the Nike or Adidas of team-based. Well, they already are the Nike-based. they already are the Nikes and Adidas of jiu-jitsu. Instead of just selling rash guards to individual athletes, they could sponsor entire squads. They already do that. They already do that. I mean, they can maybe do it. They can bring it to the next level, but they're already doing that. I don't know. I'm just kind of wondering what's the end goal here. Is it just a hobby for these rich dudes to want to sponsor their friends? Zuckerberg and some of the other guys just want to hang out with the jiu-jitsu guys. I'm just wondering, maybe it's just they got the money, just play money. $10 million to a billionaire is nothing, right? That's just pocket money. In the short term, this influx of funding and attention could mean better tournaments, more content, and higher athlete pay, which is, we want the higher athlete pay. I don't really care about the content that much. I mean, I can survive off the little bit of content that's already made now. If anything, I feel like it's going to bring more drama. It's not going to be more focused on athletes. It's going to be more focused on the spectacle, which I'm not really for too much. I just want to see the technique. I want to see the athletes competing at their best. I don't really care about the spectacle part, the talking, the controversy, the drama. I don't really care about that. I mean, I cover it because you guys like it. You know, I could just stay on my other channel and just do more in-depth technical videos. But you guys like the drama, so I'm trying to give you guys what you guys want. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm not just like, hey, you want $10 million? I'm thinking, what comes along with this $10 million? What do I have to give up to get this $10 million? What am I what am I sacrificing for that $10 million? You know, sometimes that sacrifice not worth it. You know, hey, listen, if Diddy wants to party, say no to Diddy. You got to say no to Diddy. That's what the kids are telling me. You got to say no to Diddy if he wants to party. Let's see. Just started gi. I've done MMA for like 10 years inconsistently. All right. You white belt, bro. Did some gi training today. Holy. Them grabbing the gi is annoying. That's why it's there. How do you guys deal with that? How do I break their grip on it? Well, you ain't got no grip strength, so you're not breaking nothing. It was very difficult. I'm used to no gi and relying on my weight distribution and body itself to advance or defend positions, but this seems like cheating. Some dudes literally choked me with the gi itself and not his own body. Yeah, so we got some guys cutting the grass. Nothing I can do about that, guys. It says the combination of winning the grip fight and aligning your body posture, a lot of creating shapes that basically makes it hard for them to hold. Listen, he ain't gonna win. He's gonna get his butt kicked like that other lady. Yeah, develop your grips and get used to using the gi. That's good, man. That's why I keep telling you guys to do everything, so there is no like lag. You know, if you do a little bit of MMA, a little bit of gi, a little bit of no gi, you're gonna be set, man. Okay, you gotta stay ready. Isn't that a part of martial arts, staying ready? You can't be like, oh man, I never did that before. I don't know what to do. You gotta have a little bit of, you know, mixed martial arts in there, some cross training going on. I'm trying to see what time we got on here. I've been talking for a while. Let's see. Let's watch some videos. So we're gonna watch a little bit, John. It says the most important guard pass in jiu-jitsu. John, what are you doing with these titles, bro? I mean, I'm one to talk. I'm like, how such and such changed jiu-jitsu forever. I think John's copying me, but use it, John. Use it, bro. I ain't hating.
There's a ton of different guard passes in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and they all have certain benefits. But in my opinion, if you use this simple system I'm going to show in this video, the knee cut stands out above all the others, you know, because it is structurally so strong, works gi and no gi, and is so easy to set up. A lot of other passes, you have to grind and grip fight a lot to set up. But a knee cut is not just a pass. It's a powerful controlling system. You can quickly lock someone in to control the pace of the match, fatigue your opponent, and ultimately secure a strong, stable pass. I recently did a video on my knee shield knee cut passing system. I focused a lot in that video on locking your opponent's leg in the knee shield position, which inhibits their ability to use their leg for anything. Now I'm going to show another extremely powerful variant of this where we focus on having our body framed on the inside of their leg while also still locking in the knee shield to pass the guard.
If I use
Go check out John, guys. Go watch the video. You know, John loves that knee cut, bro. He's been working on his knee cut for, I think, 10 years, guys. 2015, 2016. I think it's been that long. It's been 10 years of John working a knee cut. Maybe 10 years of him working a knee cut. So he's definitely mastered that guard pass. I don't know what happened over here. I think we're almost done. Jesus, what's been going on lately? I've been zooming through my videos lately. Let's talk about our sponsors real fast. We got Inverted Gear. You guys love Inverted Gear as much as me? Inverted Gear. Hey, Inverted Gear. Offer code Alec. You guys know the drill. You guys know I love that inverted gear, man. Gi and no gi, I be rocking inverted gear. Offer code Alec. Other sponsors, BJJ Mental Models. Where is that thing at? Oh, uh-oh. Where are you, BJJ Mental Models? It's yeah. I think we've gone over BJJ Mental Models. So if you're looking for audio master classes, free membership to Yoga for BJJ, coaching, online coaching, go and check them out. I'm thinking about doing my own coaching thing. Let me know in the comments if you would like to have me shouting in your ear about your jiu-jitsu. No, it's all wrong. No, I'll be positive. I promise. I'll be a little positive. I kind of want Jeff to do it. What you guys? I want Jeff to do his online coaching platform because, like, you know, Jeff's so serious. But hopefully, I would do a good job too. I hope. I hope I would do a good job and not mess it up. Same thing. Offer code Alec if you want to check out that stuff. Yeah, so let's look at this last video. We got, you guys love Gracies. So it says lesson 1 in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the #1 lesson.
Being strangled from underneath someone is never good. But there's an opportunity here if you know this technique. Trap the wrist, trap the elbow, trap the foot, and bridge. The trap and roll is a technique for when someone is mounted on you. There are many variations, but let's focus on what to do when someone is strangling you. If you don't have a plan, you'll probably do some pushing and panicking. And although there's a small chance this works, the truth is the top person can simply post their hands and stay on top. Instead, trap their wrist, arm, and leg all on the same side and all at the same time. Then raise your hips and roll over your shoulder. This takes away their ability to post their hand, gets you out from underneath, and save from the strangle. Once you're on top, you can stay and keep fighting or push off their hips and get away. When you learn to escape from these worst case scenarios cease to exist.
Don't miss our upcoming...
So yeah, their marketing is good. That's a good technique. That's actually one of the first techniques you guys should learn. UPA, trap and roll. If you have a beginner's program, please show these techniques. Because, man, a lot of these places, they don't show this stuff. And then they're like, oh, they can't do any self-defense. So make sure your beginners are learning some self-defense. I assure you that that's what most of the people want. They want fitness. Make me bigger. Listen, they want fitness. They want to get in better shape, lose weight. They want to learn how to defend themselves. Okay, start with those two things. Those two things, guys. And then as they get into the sport, okay, then you get more into the sport aspect, the fun aspect. But it's got to go back. Marketing is about what does this do for you? Those two things are going to hit really good, okay? Fitness, self-defense, and, I would add community. So developing a community. I can't find where the camera is. Adding community, connection to other people, developing relationships. So focus on those 3 things, okay, guys? I don't know what else to say. If you're doing too much crazy stuff, man, listen. You see the Gracies making a ton of money. You see the Valente bros got Ivanka. I'm not saying they shouldn't be rolling the first day anyway. Why are you making new people roll the first day? That's crazy. Make them watch. Make them sign that contract before they start training. Or at least, go through like a kind of a trial period or something, man. Jesus, you shouldn't be letting new people roll first day, bro. They don't know anything. They crazy. You got to control them. Put them in ecological situations where they can't do much but play and have fun. I don't know. That's about it, guys. These videos have been short for some reason. I have no idea. I have no idea why these videos are so short right now. But if you would like to support the channel, check out the Cash App over here. We got the Vidmo. Everything's my name, Alec Balding. Offer code Alec everywhere. If you don't want to support the channel monetarily, I understand. It's tough out here. But go like the video, leave a comment, or share the video. That helps too, guys. I appreciate it. That's basically it. I don't think I'm doing a video till Friday, so I'll see you guys on Friday. Fit Friday. Ooh, I like that. Fit Friday, Handsome Tuesday, Fit Friday. I'll figure out some other ones too. That's basically it, man. You guys take care. See you guys soon. Bye-bye. Stay out of trouble and stay healthy, guys.